Hello and welcome to another day on Cornwall Pocket Farm. My name is Jenny and today I'm going to show you a few second-hand things that I bought just recently. Now, I wasn't really in the market. I haven't really been sort of shopping for second-hand. I haven't been thrifting for ages actually, but I was sort of tempted. And yes, and I succumbed really. So when I explain, you'll understand, I'm sure. So the first temptation came in the form of, I saw this thing on Facebook, and you know these things get served up to you, don't they? So I saw this thing from, I think the place is called Asia Gallery Kimono Emporium or something, is that the name? Yes, Asia Gallery Emporium, no, Asia Gallery Kimono Emporium. And it's very, very close to me. And this is just basically just opened up quite recently. The guy has basically brought over in a container a huge amount of sort of really like old kimonos and sort of old formal Japanese wear, if you like, that maybe modern day Japanese people don't wear so much, and things that have been in sort of storage and warehousing for ages. I don't know, that's what he was sort of saying, that he'd got it all out of like old factories and things that were closing down. So just the most amazing place. It was an Aladdin's cave really, of boxes and boxes of beautiful kimonos and silks and knives and antique bits. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. So I saw this post and it was my daughter's birthday and we decided to wander down and have a look. Well, actually all of us went. The husband and also Maggie went because it's on the way to a sort of a dog park. So we all went down. And the idea was that Mark and Maggie were going to leave us there and go for a walk, and we were going to have a wander around. But in the end, actually, Mark had a little look around as well and bought a couple of knives. But the clothes were much too small for him. Even the extra large gentleman clothes were too small. So it's definitely, well, for people like me and my daughter, so smaller people. So it was brilliant. So I had a look, and on a couple of things were on racks and a lot were in boxes, but I found the most amazing, they're not kimonos, they are Haoris, I think, Haori, I think that's how you spell it. I'm not quite sure how you say it, but I'm going to say Haori. Correct me if I'm wrong. So basically I found a couple of beautiful Haori which I will show you. I'll actually put a little split the screen or do something like that so you can see. So the first one was just this beautiful swirly pattern in beautiful colours and a little sort of silver overlay as well. Absolutely gorgeous, and I tried it on, fitted really lovely, and I just fell in love really. So I thought, oh, and $20. I mean really. Silk, 100% silk. These things, everything I bought from him was 100% silk and beautiful. And then I found another one. This one is more, it sort of had vintage vibes to me. It was in my favourite colour, has these little beautiful sort of pink flowers on it. I just thought it was really lovely, and again fit me nicely, was a really good colour, and I just really enjoyed it. So I thought, well, maybe two. Is that too many? So now I have these two Haori, and you could say, well, what are you gonna do with that? And I did actually scratch my head in the shop a little bit. What am I going to do with these? Then I had this brilliant idea. One of the pieces of my winter capsule wardrobe that I'm trying to work out is sort of evening wear, if you like. That sort of relaxing evening wear when you get into something comfy. And I thought these little Haori would be great to sort of go over as almost like semi-dressing gown, sort of jackety type of vibe, if you sort of follow my drift. I'm gonna hang my sort of this sort of evening loungewear type part of my wardrobe off these Haori, and now what I'm looking for is something to wear underneath them that will be sort of relaxing, comfortable and very nice to wear. So if you have ideas of what I could put underneath it to be comfortable, please put in the comments some ideas, because it would be great. I could do with some ideas, that would be brilliant. I'm sort of thinking something sort of stretchy but elegant, you know. So those were the first things that I found. The next few boxes we went through were actually rolls of beautiful silk wrapped in paper, so they were all sort of beautiful inside. They are silks that are designed to make kimonos. So they're very narrow in width. They're not very wide at all. Yeah, I succumbed. I bought 3 rolls. 3 rolls, I know, and I don't quite know how much is on them. I think there is about 11 meters or so, or even more, I think. I haven't actually taken it off to measure it, but certainly quite a lot. Obviously only narrow, so I'm going to have to be quite creative in the way that I use them. But the first roll of silk was just pure sort of off-white. It's sort of like a bone white, a sort of slightly peachy white, difficult to explain really, but it's a really fine, lightweight white, shall we call it, creamy white silk. And I thought, oh, that would be amazing for the underwear project that I want to embark on. I make pretty much everything that I wear, apart from my underwear, but again, that's apart from my socks, because I knit my own socks. And I have also knitted some singlets, and I've also knitted a slip, a slip to go under dresses, a woolly slip to go under dresses in the winter. So I really want to get into some sort of fine underwear, some French knickers and some sort of silk slips and those types of things. And so this seemed perfect, really. The next roll, the most glorious red silk with little dots on it. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I have no idea what I'm going to make with this. I have to admit, I just thought, wow, that red, it may not come up on camera properly, but the red is just so vibrant. It is a beautiful red, and it's my red, so I just couldn't leave it behind. What I have in my head is maybe a beautiful sort of vintage inspired silk dress, but I don't need a vintage inspired silk dress. But would that stop me? Not necessarily, but still, I'm not quite sure. That's what it's talking to me, and it's saying a beautiful vintage silk dress, but it may be something else. I'm not sure yet. But again, if you have any ideas, please put it in the comments, because yeah, what am I going to do with this beautiful red silk? So the last roll was this green, beautiful green. As soon as I saw it, I thought, right, okay, definitely. It's a dressing gown sort of / smoking jacket. Those old vintage smoking jacket type things that gentlemen used to have. I'm thinking, oh, that would be so George and so gorgeous. So I think what I might do with that is maybe interline it with some, I've got some sort of slightly brushed cottony type stuff, which came out of the curtains. I think I mentioned to you before, I've used some of it for the cushions to cover the squabs and those types of things, but some of the curtains, when the lining came out, it was actually like a brushed cotton. So I've washed, laundered, pressed, all that, and that is quite good. It's 100% cotton. I've done a burn test on it. So I might actually use that as an interlining on the silk, and make a bit of a smoking jacket or a dressing gown. Those are my thoughts for that fabric. Apart from that, there were lots of gorgeous things, but I did manage to restrain myself, partly because we've been there about 2 hours at this point, and partly because there were still heaps in boxes. So we came away saying that we would go back when there was more out on the racks. My daughter also got some silk and a beautiful little beaded purse, and yeah, lovely things. But I think we might go back again, but I'm going to have to be very careful. I mean, it took me a bit of unawares. When I went in the first time, I wasn't expecting to see so many beautiful things. So I was a little ambushed with the beautiful stuff. And of course I ended up buying some. The next moment of weakness was my daughter wanted to go into the recycle boutique because she's looking for a particular thing for a particular event. So of course I was with her, so I went in with her, and I just thought, oh well, I'll just wander around, and as you do, you browse along the racks, of course. So the first thing that I found was a beautiful 100% silk blouse in my size, in my perfect colour. You can't leave that on the rack. I mean, you just can't. So I thought, oh well, I'll have to buy this, because I mean, how often do you come across that sort of thing? In New Zealand, not very often. So I thought, I'll have to get that. So then I had something sort of on my arm, and then I sort of carried on looking. And then I found this this other piece, which is a little bit more out there, shall we say. So I felt that the blouse was very Elise, you know, it was very sort of elegant and simple, and yes, very Elise. And the second piece that I found is very George. Well, that's the vibe it's giving me anyway. I'm sort of seeing George on the farm, possibly in the doing a bit of blacksmithing in the forge. I don't know. But anyway, it's sort of got a George vibe, I felt. I just thought this looks like a very good utilitarian sort of rough type of thing that I could do lots of jobs in it. It's denim, so obviously it's hard wearing, it'll wear well, and all of those types of things. The only one problem that it has is that it doesn't have any sort of split in the skirt or anything, so I can't stride very well. So I'm going to have to add in a split in the back, some sort of vent type situation, so that I can both walk and cycle, because of course that's how I get about. So that's the small alteration I've got to do to that. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. But then I think it will be a really useful piece in my winter wardrobe, and it's good because I can get sort of big jumpers underneath. I could wear it with just a shirt. I wear a lot of button-up shirts, so just a shirt underneath that would work really well. But also I could put a heavier jumper under there and layer up things underneath it. I think it would work really well. So that was the other thing that I got. So all in all, very pleased with my haul. And I suppose in other news, really just a quick sort of knitting update. I have almost finished my little waistcoat now. I'm really pleased with the way it's looking. I'm just basically sewing in all the ends, and then I'm going to block it. I'm going to give it a little bit of a stretch. It's very snug, which is nice and warm, but I want it a little bit bigger, so I'm going to sort of block it and make it a little larger. But of course, once I've finished it, blocked it, and got all the buttons on and everything, I will show you what it looks like. But I'm very pleased at the moment. I think it's going to be a real winner for the winter, very warm. So that's the first thing. The other thing that I have completed is my red socks. Those are finished now, although I have to say I might undo part of them. I've been sort of doing them and undoing them a little bit, because what I'm doing with the socks is I'm using them as a sort of a tester to actually write my own perfect sock knitting pattern. And the reason I'm doing this is that every time I make a pair of socks, I sort of work it out again myself, like individually figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. And I thought it'd be so much easier if I just wrote it down. The other thing is that my daughter wanted my sock pattern, which is in my head. So I thought, well, I'll write it down. And so then when I come to knit a pair of socks, it'll be right there, and I don't need to sort of like figure it out each time. So that's what I'm doing. The other thing is that I want to get started on my vintage inspired 1940s-esque stockings, knitted stockings. And if you remember, I've got that 2-ply yarn which I told you about in a knitting update some time ago. I'll put a link somewhere. I've got that 2-ply yarn, and I want to make these knitted stockings. But before I do that, I really want to get the pattern sorted and worked out. And the other thing is that usually I make short socks, and I want to work out all the increases and everything to get up to my knee and get past that. So the idea is that I'm going to make a knitting pattern that is sort of like a ankle sock, but also a knee length sock, and then I will take that knowledge and extend it into a stocking pattern, if you like. So those 3 versions probably I will have as separate patterns, all based on each other. I will of course share those with you somehow. I'm not really quite sure how to do that, so if you've got some ideas, it would be really good. I might put that through Ravelry, or another idea I had was doing some sort of Ko-fi page and putting it in there or something, I don't know. So if you know of any good ways of sort of sharing that type of thing, please let me know in the comments below. That would be very much appreciated. I've not done that before, so it's a bit of a first time thing for me. Oh, and of course I should say at this point, if you enjoy my content, please give me a thumbs up, comment below. I'm always really pleased to hear your thoughts, suggestions, always useful. And of course subscribe if you like my content and you'd like to see more of it. Please do subscribe. I'm very, very close to 5,000 subscribers and it would be really nice to hit that number. So please do subscribe, that would be great. Anyway, what else have I got going on knitting? Oh, I've started a new knitting pattern as well, which is a sort of a vintage-esque cable jumper, which I want to go with my kilt, the kilt that I showed you in a previous haul video actually, so I'll link to that too. I'll do a knitting update and show you the progress of everything in a separate video. I think that's probably the better way of doing it rather than just tacking it on to the end of this. So I think that's it from me today. Yeah. It's grey and rainy. I've spent all week in the garden. Oh, my back is killing me because after our drought, we had some rain and then it was mad trying to get the beds prepped and the seedlings in and all the rest of it. So this week we've actually had dry weather up until this point and I have done so much, but oh, yes. There's only so much my body will do, and today it's raining and spitty, so I've given myself a physical day off, although I was up a tree harvesting figs just before the rain started, so not that much of a break. Anyway, that's the end of it, of this week's video. Hopefully I'll get this edited and out this week for you, and yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.